This right here is my PlayStation 4. The one that I got a few months ago and haven't used much since. And I'm selling it today at my local GameStop. Now, sure, I could probably sell it online for maybe slightly more, but then you'd have to factor in shipping and all that, because I don't have any games for it. Anyways, this is my PlayStation 4, and it's sitting here, and it's been collecting dust for a good reason. The PlayStation 4 just hasn't been that good of a console, to be honest. And, I mean, sure, it's slightly more powerful than the Xbox One, I know that. But as a system, it just isn't that great. Case in point, the fact that the PS4 doesn't have too many exclusives. For example, the PS4, it has No Man's Sky coming out. That game's also going to be on the PC. And many other PS4 games that have been heavily hyped up are on the PC or the Vita, and sometimes even the PlayStation 3. But the point is, there just aren't a whole lot of PlayStation 4 games that are exclusive to the system, because usually they're either on the Vita or the PC. And another thing wrong with the PlayStation 4 is the fact that as a system, it doesn't get too much support from Sony, other than some first-party games. The system software itself has barely changed since the PlayStation 4 came out, unlike the Xbox One, which has gotten numerous updates, including some to fix the horrible interface. While the PlayStation 4 has this very clunky and hard-to-use interface, it's had it since day one, it still doesn't let you pop out a menu just for the game itself, like the Xbox One does now. And of course, the system also has some other issues with it, like it still lacks audio CD playback, and its media features aren't as good as the Xbox One's. And PlayStation Plus's games haven't been as good, mostly with just random indie games coming to the PlayStation 4 as well. And there's no backwards compatibility with the PS1. There's none with the PSP. There are some PS2 games now on the PS4 store, but there's not a whole lot. And of course, there is also no PS3 games. There's just PlayStation Now, that overpriced streaming service that suffers from severe input lag. Meanwhile, the Xbox One has backwards compatibility. And that's the thing with the PS4. It just does not feel like a very advanced system. It feels like a bare bones third-party multi-plat system, and that's kind of what it is at this point. And if you own another system, there's no reason to go out and buy a PS4, because... And the controller too. The controller has lots of problems with it too, like these triggers, which are cheap and break easily, these analog sticks, which just don't feel very good, the battery life, which is horrible thanks to that light, and of course the worst part, the fact that with the PlayStation 4, you have to buy first-party Sony controllers. You can't just run out and buy third-party ones like with the Xbox One. And that was another thing that made me not want to play my PS4 as much, because if you go through controllers, you'll be spending more money with the PlayStation 4. You can't just get cheap third-party controllers like you can with nearly every other pass system. I mean, even the Wii U has more third-party controllers than the PlayStation 4. So that's the thing with the PlayStation 4. It's just not a very memorable or good system. I mean, sure, it's got some good games on it, but usually they're on other systems, or they'll likely end up getting ported to other systems. I mean, Persona 5, that's on the PlayStation 3, for example. Disgaea 5 is still PS4 exclusive, but that series has a history of being ported to other systems, like the Vita and PSP, and now the PC. And of course, how can we forget that the PlayStation 4 also has, it has Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth. That game is an exclusive, but it's also on the Vita. So yeah, there really isn't much of a reason to run out and buy a PlayStation 4, especially if you own another system. Because to be honest, it's just a very bare bones and boring game system, and I'm selling it probably so I can get an RX 480. Maybe I'll end up getting something else if I want to, but I'll probably end up getting an RX 480 because that's what I'm leaning towards at this point, especially because the $200 GameStop pays me goes a good way to getting that GPU, and I think that's what I'll end up doing, and that's all that needs to be said, really. PS4, just a dull, forgettable system. Xbox One's better. That's all that needs to be said. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more.